The following show features stupid opinions and ideas from two idiot brothers who probably did little research and practiced zero due diligence on the topic at hand. The MLO Bros' opinions do not reflect the views of their employer, guests, sponsors, families, neighbors, or pets. If you do not like what they are saying and don't agree with their views or opinions, don't watch the show. We can promise we do not care. Welcome to the worst show on the internet.
The councilman
flips us off.
Yeah,
we're live right now, by the way, too. Yeah.
Why? And my 11-year-old nephew next to me.
Yeah.
We're in a parade. And my 11-year-old nephew's like, "Hey, Uncle Isaac, that guy over there's flipping you off." And I'm like, "No." And I look over and it's village councilman.
Yeah, village councilman flipping us off.
We're really starting on a high key.
Yeah, well, welcome. We're sorry, everybody. Welcome to the MLO Bros. We're just explaining to our guests what it's like to have a podcast in Poland, Ohio.
Get the wine going, I guess.
Introduce yourselves, guys. Introduce yourselves.
Oh, okay, well, hello.
Okay.
Is that the special one?
This is it.
I'm Marissa. I don't know where to look. Do I look
Just
here?
you look at us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, look at us.
I'm Marissa, and I love wine, and I'm glad to be here.
Very nice.
Sir.
Is that the official introduction?
That's kind of what my brain told me to say, and that's where we left it, I guess.
Okay, well then.
Donnie says hi, Marissa and Evan.
Hi.
Hi.
We're good. They're good.
I
a
am
foot from your face, guys.
Evan Schumann, and I am the husband of the woman sitting next to me.
Hello.
Very nice.
The husband.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys know Donnie?
Yes, Donnie is an OG fan of Luva Bella. He's my homie. So thanks, Donnie, for watching.
So,
Nice.
congrats on 30 under 30. Well, let's before we get into 30 under 30,
Let's give the history.
Let's get your history first, okay? So you two are young compared to me, anyways. You two are young. So you're married. Are you married?
We're married.
You're married. Okay.
Just
So
over a year now.
how old are you two?
I'm 29.
You're 29,
27.
27. So you married a little older than you.
I
though.
did.
My man.
I
My
know,
man.
yeah.
My
man.
man. Going after the older ladies.
I was looking for maturity. So.
I'm a little crusty, I know.
He's a man.
Crusty crust.
So where are you guys from originally?
Lowville.
You went to Lowville?
Yeah.
She is not the typical Lowvillian, is she?
No.
What's the typical Lowvillian?
Yeah, I'm
Italian,
curly
curly,
hair.
curly, dark skin, dark hair. You're like red hair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
not
I'm
like you're
75%
from.
Italian, believe it or not.
Are you seriously?
Mhm.
You're 25% Irish.
So we took an ancestry test.
Yeah.
I'm Italian, Russian, Greek, which I didn't know about, and Baltic, or a GNC or some weird dealio.
There's redheaded Italians.
So-
There are.
Is it really?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like a certain
Wow.
spot
We're
in
a
Italy.
niche demographic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, you can't come from Louisville and not be Italian.
It's automatic.
You
Totally
have to do it.
stereotyping.
He's
It's
1%
not-
Italian.
Are you?
Can't you tell?
100%. 100%.
According
It
to
glows. You
Ancestry.
glow. Yeah.
Okay. So you went to where are you from?
Chagrin Falls.
So you're from Chagrin Falls. Where'd you guys meet?
We met on LinkedIn.
He totally slid into my DM.
Dude,
On
did you
LinkedIn.
slide into someone's DM on LinkedIn.
I did,
Listen,
yeah.
okay.
How do you do that? Is I don't know if that's creepy or totally
I mean,
awesome.
it wasn't weird. Okay? Like, it wasn't, because I totally actually almost ditched because I didn't want to leave my house that day, but I was like, I gotta go, like whatever. But the reason why I said yes to meeting him for lunch was because he was connected to one of my mentors at the time, Jim Kostler.
Okay.
And his profile picture, he didn't look like creepy.
Thank
I
you.
actually didn't even creep. Like,
You don't look creepy in person either. Just so you know.
Thank you.
but I didn't click his profile because I was so busy. I actually spelled his last name wrong in my calendar invite. So bad. But I thought he was like, I don't know, like mid-30s. I was like, oh, it's fine.
How
whatever.
old were you when you guys met?
I was 23.
So you guys have been around. I mean, you're 29 now, so this is
Yeah.
like 6 years ago.
25?
You had to be 25.
Something.
Wait.
I was
Okay.
Younger.
Something I heard. Did you schedule a date based on a calendar invite? Is that how business
No.
savvy you guys are? That
I
you
remi-
used calendar
I
invites
wasn't
for
invited to my calendar, but it was a personal
reminder?
reminder, which I'm glad I didn't invite him because I spelled his last name like with an L, like Schulman, because I know
Nice.
someone from Cornell. His name's Zach Schulman. So I thought, because it was so busy like at the time, so
It wasn't a date
It was
though.
so bad.
Yeah.
The first meeting was just getting lunch because she was connected to the YBI.
Yeah.
And I was doing some work with the YBI at the time, which is why we even connected in the first place, because we were connected on LinkedIn and she's posting all the time, all kinds of stuff that she had going on and what she was doing. And so I had a company of my own and I was working with a lot of startup companies. And so it just kind of connected.
So it wasn't like a hey baby, you want to go out kind of thing.
That's exactly
Hey.
what that she fell for it. She fell for it.
It was like a hey baby.
She's super successful, and yeah,
I was like, I don't want to work anymore. So
yeah.
let me see if I can get this one.
You're
That's amazing.
so
Freaking picking up chicks on LinkedIn.
You mentioned you went to Cornell, just so we can scale the caliber of intelligence. of
Wow,
these guys.
Cornell.
You went
really
to
good
Cornell?
at Cornell.
I did.
Impressed.
And where'd you go to school at?
Kent State.
Kent State.
Also impressive.
Is it?
Yeah. Hey, I think
I
Kent
don't
State.
think it, I don't
No.
think it is.
Akron is the best bang for your buck, they say.
Is it?
Not Kent? Yeah, I guess
Okay.
the best. In Ohio, the best
That's-
education for the dollar you're spending. I guess.
Akron.
I don't know. That's what they claim.
What?
And Kent State's claim to fame is can't read, can't write, Kent State.
Yes,
So-
exactly.
that.
Exactly. So he's like, Dad, I have my Kent State education. There's this Cornell girl. I'm gonna latch on to her.
What
Exactly.
what did you guys go to school for?
I went for winemaking.
There's a class for winemaking.
There's a
At
whole
Cornell,
four-year
there is.
Cornell
program.
there is. Yeah, they
There's
didn't have
whatever
that- they
you
didn't have
want
that
at
at
Cornell.
Westminster.
Yeah.
The first slide was you should not operate a motor vehicle after this lecture. we tasted like straight moonshine and all this
Really?
stuff. It
To
was
get like the
cool.
palate.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
But it was intense. And I think the next slide was grape juice mixed with vodka does not equal wine.
Okay.
Nice. What did you go to school for?
Entrepreneurship.
Really?
There's a major for it at Kent State. Yeah.
So this
Cool.
it all goes together.
It
Then.
makes total sense.
I mean, it makes total sense
Makes
when you
total
really look
sense.
at it.
Yep.
Then. Joe said hi.
Joe Daniels.
You guys know Joe
Yes.
Daniel?
do.
Sounds nice video.
Hi.
He's
We do.
he's another ghost hunter, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah.
He goes ghost hunting with us too. By the way,
I feel
Must
like
be
I
a
would
normal
get
thing out here in
possessed if
Youngstown. I don't know.
I can't do it, man. I fall asleep.
He gets so
I
bored.
get so bored and I'm so tired. I'm like, I just want a ghost to eat me so that I can something
it's
can either
just-
happen or I can go to sleep or something. Like it's just
hey, 38 people watching. Thanks for watching right now. If you're watching, do us a favor. Please like this, follow this, and share this. If you're watching,
yeah. Down below, give us a heart or a thumbs up or an angry face or a happy face.
yeah,
whatever.
angry faces are
Helps
good. We
us
love angry faces.
tremendously.
Um,
Also, check out our sponsors of tonight's show, Valley Insurance Group. They're down below, as well as BC Heating and Plumbing. Check them out too.
All right, so you guys meet, and now your family owned the winery, right?
Yeah.
How long has that winery been in existence for?
My father started in 2006.
2006, and that's always been at the where's it? It's on 224.
Yeah, so he technically started his company in like 2003.
Okay.
But he bought the building in 2005 and was able to finalize everything in 2006.
It took that long.
Or the construction.
Okay,
It needed a lot of work.
the building.
Yes.
Okay, and did you guys? So there's not grapes and stuff over there, right? Like
No, we don't have any vineyards. We get all of our grapes from either California or over 500 family-owned co-ops throughout New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Michigan.
wow,
Gosh.
bring them all in.
How hard was it for him? Well, he's mentioned how hard it was for him to build those connections, like to get.
Yeah, my father, he started our Luvabella juice company. So that's how Luvabella started, by selling fresh winemaking juice to the home winemaker. As you guys know, Youngstown's very Italian centric.
Yeah.
So I'm about to have
Shelby's stepdad made this. My wife Shelby's stepdad made this cab. So
yes,
that's what we're
from
trying.
our
Are we doing it
Luvabella
right
juice.
now?
We could try it.
Right.
This is
Actually,
moment
it
of truth.
smells really good.
If you're watching at home,
So wait, Brett made this.
Brent,
Brett,
Holbrook
your
made this.
father-in-law.
Yeah. So what am I supposed to be looking for in this?
Actually, it's
Marissa?
really good.
Do you like it? Is it that bad? Is it that bad?
Oh,
Like,
come on.
No, I'm just kidding, Brett.
No,
I know.
I'm
Is he watching?
impressed.
He's got to be watching.
I don't know if he's watching or not.
I'm actually really impressed.
He's been making this.
I mean,
cab
it tastes
for
good to
years.
me. I don't.
No, he
I'm
did
not
a really
gonna
great
lie.
job.
Like I said, I wouldn't know a good wine or a bad wine. The last wine I had was like Mad Dog 2020 in college, I think. So I'm not a very good.
I don't even think that's wine, dude. That's just
That's wine.
No,
It's malt.
he
yeah.
did a really
Mad
nice
Dog
job
2020?
on this.
It has to. It cannot be wine.
Mad Dog 2020 is wine.
No.
Is Mad Dog 2020 wine if you're
Grape
watching?
juice plus vodka does not equal wine, remember?
It's like orange flavored. It's not wine.
They're watching. There's Pam.
Oh, nice.
That's actually pretty good. Okay, so I like this one.
What's the verdict?
Donnie's
guys?
saying no, it's not wine.
Thank you for
Dude,
clarifying.
it's orange flavored. Mad Dog is not wine.
Maybe the grape flavor is wine.
They don't have a great flavor. I think they in your time they only had orange. They had like in the 2000s they released like a blue raspberry. It was shit too. Just in case you wanted to know.
That's actually not bad, Brett.
Oh Lord, no. I'm impressed.
So you guys sell the grape juice for this then?
Yeah. So we bring. If you want to explain the business because you run that, I don't.
Yeah, so we bring juice in from all over the world, different times of the year. Chilean in the spring and California and Italian juices in the fall. We bring them in, we blend them, we add whatever nutrients we need to, and then we package it and we sell it to home winemakers to make whatever varietal they're looking for what you're tasting right now.
And the Chilean one is the other two bottles.
Okay. Cool.
Because from the spring. This was an older one from last fall. I think
probably
yeah,
Okay.
makes sense.
Cool.
yeah. But
So, okay, so we're talking. So your parents had the company, and then you guys bought it.
Yes.
So how did that go?
Well,
When did you buy it?
May 2020 we closed on the.
How did that go down? Like buying a company
so
off.
dramatic.
Was it really?
It was so dramatic.
Was it like fights and like?
I'm blessed because Evan did all the work in the negotiation. I can't negotiate with my dad.
He did.
Oh yeah.
So you were negotiating
how
with the
was
dad.
that?
How was it? Like, could you imagine negotiating with our parents?
that would suck.
I mean, we can't freaking negotiate like dinner.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Dinner
times.
plans.
Dinner times. Yeah. How did that go?
Yeah, I mean, with any business transaction, there's a lot of people involved. So, we had our team of attorneys, and her parents had their attorney, and there was a mediator in between. And so, yeah, there wasn't a lot of direct communication. It was a lot through our attorneys and through third parties. So
it wasn't even.
How was dinner while like dinner?
Do you still
events
talk to
while
your
that was
parents?
going
Yeah,
on?
no, they're great. They love.
I mean, I don't know if it's like we're like talking about the parents and like they don't even talk anymore.
No. We have a very close relationship. I know my dad loves Evan unconditionally.
But you guys had like mediators and everything. Like,
It
yeah, I mean,
was-
you have to. You have to.
Makes sense.
You just have to, especially if you want to all sit together at a dinner. Then
after,
yeah, it's
it took a year for my dad to.
yeah, it did.
dude,
No.
Santa Claus is outside.
Listen,
What?
Yo!
Hi, Santa.
I was like, don't.
No, that is
No,
seriously
I mean,
unplanned.
I don't know.
No,
why Santa Claus
that was
Dude,
seriously Santa. That was Santa just showed up.
Guys, we're in a basement right now.
If we die,
Santa Claus put his face to the window.
Santa would never do that. Okay.
All right, we're on Facebook. I can't swear. That was
No, you're fine.
that was too
You're fine.
much for me.
I can't
So
believe that.
Santa
His
just came up
window.
to our
His
podcast
window.
window, and we're letting him in right now. So there is a guy that walks down my street that dresses up as Santa. So I don't know if
Do
Is
we
this
know
him?
this person?
if this is him or not.
I'm scared.
Just come say hi, Santa.
Santa, say hi, and then
He just said Santa didn't want to interrupt because he's like, it's their show.
hey Santa, what's up? You want to sit down? Sit down right here, Santa, real quick.
I honestly have
Do
no
we
idea.
know?
Santa, were you just walking by or what's going on?
Well, yes. I got to check out the neighborhood and see how all the good little children are being in Poland.
Very nice, Santa.
Well, we're imbibing with some. some wine.
Santa, you want some wine for your trip home?
No.
Okay.
I have a long way to walk. So.
Okay.
There's a lot of children to keep your eye on around here.
Thanks, Santa. Well, thank you, Santa.
Well, and we got to bring a smile to people's faces.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out why Santa was walking by.
Well, thank you, sir. Great to meet all of you.
Thanks, Santa.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Santa.
And, keep your eye out. I'm watching you.
Yeah, we're trying to be good. We're trying to be good, Santa.
Thank you, sir.
I can't believe
Bye, Santa.
Merry Christmas, Santa.
True story. Wait, so I don't hear the sleigh bells anymore. I have no idea who that was.
No
I can't
clue.
believe that just happened.
Listen,
No idea
I'm
who
gonna
that
have
is.
nightmares tonight.
Not
be
planned. Like I would never do that to a guest like that.
Dude, he just walked
No
by.
idea.
His-
Yeah.
It
It's
came to the
perfectly
basement window, y'all. The one behind.
It's
Like the
Johnny
giant
says
dog.
it's Santa. I know him. Hi, Santa. Dan
No,
Ball
it was
said-
not AJ. I swear on my grandfather's grave that was not
Dan Ball
staged.
says,
in
I
any way.
believe her father is part of Rotary Exchange to France.
So that was our old winemaker, Joe Hollabaugh, that participated in that program like 15 years ago. They went on like a wine trip or something.
Huh.
And no, it was not staged, EJ. I
Dude,
swear.
EJ, I swear to God, I had no idea. I
That
had no
Was
was-
idea.
that James Marzo?
I'm gonna have nightmares tonight about a Santa soliciting my window.
I can't believe that.
That was totally.
Dude,
on the
I
wall.
Who
swear.
the hell is out in Poland, Ohio?
I swear.
Listen,
They
Hand
must.
on my heart,
whoever-
we did
I
not
don't know
play.
who that was.
I've seen that guy walking around.
I tell
He must have
him
just walked-
all the
At
time.
night?
Yeah.
Multiple times?
Paranoid.
Santa walks in at night.
I'm paranoid with windows. He's like, just calm down, it's fine. I'm like, no, it's not fine. And that proves my theory.
I guess.
Woo!
What were we talking about? Okay, so we were talking about the lawyers and the parents. So you guys get along now. You bought the company. What goes smooth?
What year was that? Did you buy it?
2020, May.
Okay, so it wasn't right before the wedding.
Oh,
Or
Oh, the
a year
wedding
before
wasn't
the
the
wedding.
wedding. We weren't even engaged at the time.
It was right during COVID.
Yeah, it was right during
Interesting.
COVID.
Was there any concerns with that? Were you like, oh, shit?
Yeah, I mean, when we got into negotiations, COVID wasn't even on the radar.
Oh, right,
early,
because
early
it was.
20s.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's true.
Yeah,
right.
it took 10 months to go through the acquisition, so it wasn't even on the radar at the time. And there's a lot of events that led up to even starting the negotiations of looking at buying the company. And by the time that we started seeing what COVID was becoming, we were too far in. I mean,
There's no going back. Yeah.
I mean, the expense of acquiring a company, let alone acquiring a company, is immense. And to get that far and then to not go through with it, it was just we had to continue.
Wow.
So
But before that, you were already starting your own like wine brand, right? And that was that a part of Luvabella, or
it
what
a
was that?
Separate company. I wanted to have my own LLC so I can control
right.
my own thing. I invested my own money into it,
Mhm.
but I realized fairly quickly, maybe 8 months in, that it was not profitable. It was really challenging because I was making very little per bottle. I had a negotiation with my parents on them manufacturing the wine, but I would sell it and pay for it and pay them a fee to do it. Well, I was making very, very little money. I was getting traction, but I wasn't paying myself. I was just paying like the way to like gas.
Yeah.
I was still living at my parents' house at the time. I just put every dime I had from my previous job working in California for E&J Gallo Winery, plus whatever I could invest from RedHead. And I think a lot of people don't know that. Like, I literally paid myself like $3,000 a year, and that's it.
Wow.
Like, I was living on the edge, but it was worth it. I mean, it was great. I was great at marketing. I still feel like I have some great traction with that, but I just needed to see where it could go. And it took me a long time to figure out, I would say 3 years, what my next move was, because I felt if I abandoned RedHead, what was I going to do?
Let me ask you something. So you start RedHead. When did you start RedHead?
Technically in 2013 when I was 19 years old, but I didn't
Good for you.
pursue
That's
it
awesome.
full time until 2016.
And now let me ask you too. So your parents own the winery.
Correct.
You try and go off on your own.
Correct.
You have to kind of depend on your parents though, right? For the wine and stuff
Yes.
like that. So was it, I mean, I'm trying to figure out how to ask this.
Just
So
ask. There's no filter.
is
here.
it like, was it hard to break away? Like you were trying to break away, right?
No, I couldn't break away. And
Okay.
I wanted to take more risk. And although I wanted to, they controlled buying the supply and manufacturing it. I was able to broker it through my marketing company,
Okay.
which was the RedHead Wine LLC at the time.
Right.
And it was rough because I wanted to still control my own destiny, but I couldn't because I wasn't the actual manufacturer. I was involved in the process, the winemaking, everything. But
they still had
yes.
it. See, that would be frustrating, right?
So
Yeah.
when we started
Especially
dating,
when it's your stinking parents.
It's
too.
your
It was-
it's your
Yeah.
parents.
it
and that puts another spin on it when it's your parents.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
because my dad had this opinion how he wanted to help me and my mom.
Uh-huh.
Had this opinion. They argued about
Gosh,
it
that's
all the
so
time.
Uh-huh.
So I would complain to him all the time when we started dating, and he gave me some great suggestions. So because Redhead was not profitable, like I was able to like pay the bills of the business, but I couldn't just like pay myself $3,000 for the rest of my life. He suggested that I ask my parents that I would consult for them and grow their distribution business. So when I was going store to store selling my one SKU, Redhead Red Blend, I was selling the Luva Bella portfolio. I was getting paid to broker their wines. So I
you were
was
selling all of it.
Yes. So I was getting paid a salary at the time from Luva Bella just to do that. And I realized, well, these wines are selling really well. Like, I think I could really push everything and grow the whole portfolio. So Evan had his own company at the time, was looking to maybe no longer continue on with his consulting business. He enjoyed consulting, but it wasn't his passion.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So while she
Yeah.
was doing all that, what were you doing in your early 20s?
Well, when I graduated Kent State in 2017, I was 21, and I started a company called Zytec that was converting. It was a manufacturing startup, and so we were converting raw materials from the non-ferrous refining process. So copper, nickel, brass. When you melt those metals, there's all kinds of zinc dust. There's all kinds
Impurities.
of stuff that comes off of that, and it's collected into these big hoppers. Well, it either goes to landfills or gets sold off to a few companies. So we had developed a process to convert zinc dust into a product called zinc sulfate.
How do you even get into that?
How
Like-
in the world do you come up with that?
I was when I was going to Kent State. I was interning, and then it turned into almost like a full-time job for me in college at a chemical manufacturing company. And I was able to work under the CEO, and he was an amazing mentor of mine at the time. And so what ended up happening is I kind of stopped going to class. I would just go into the office. And my family, my family has a business that has been in the family for generations. And so they're in the metal industry. And so I was able to kind of learn from both sides of that.
That's cool.
And so I kind of saw what the issues my family was having with disposing of this product. And I saw the need for the market. And so developed out the process at like lab scale, and then ended up raising some capital to build a manufacturing plant and scale that business. We ended up raising money for that. We brought on a team. That company ended up folding for some environmental issues.
Yeah.
And so through that process, I had met an amazing mentor of mine that was in private equity, bought and sold companies. And he was at the time the CEO of an automation company, and he had just bought it, and he was looking for someone to come on and run their sales division of the business. And so I ended up coming on. I helped grow his company fairly quickly. And I realized that I could probably do this for a lot more companies. So I kind of negotiated with him that I could like work a portion of my time, but still offer the same results and go and do this for a lot of other companies. Mm-hmm. And that's where the idea of Matrix Growth Ventures came about, that I could help scale other companies. And right about that time, through a series of networking events, I was connected to the Youngstown Business Incubator. They had a fund at the time that was investing in Israeli startup companies to bring them to the Mahoning Valley through a seed investment to help scale their business. The company that they were looking at the time was in the chemical industry. And so I had the background to be able to come on and do that. I ended up working with that company. And then again, kind of realized I could do this for a lot more companies. So we ended up taking that model. We brought some people on. I brought some people on. We ended up going after a lot of tech companies in Israel and helping them scale their business in the US.
Yeah.
And after I did that for about a year and built that company up, I was, I think, maybe 23 and a half.
I was boozing
and
so hard at 23.
23 and a half. I worked on a cruise ship.
I was boozing so hard.
Wow.
And I got into private equity, and I was just kind of learning how to buy and sell companies, and I didn't really want to continue consulting because I just didn't like only being involved in sales. I wanted to do like operations and finance and all these different things. And so I ended up kind of ramping that down so I could take the money that we are able to make with it and then go and buy a company and then hopefully build that company. So over about 5 or so,
coming
6
through.
Seriously. Yeah. Now we got what Steve was talking about.
Yeah.
Yep. Now we got.
Like I said, big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
All right.
but after about 6 or so months, I looked at a lot of deals, wasn't really thrilled with any of them. And that's when I had been working with Marissa, just like through the story that she just told you, what she was looking to do with her family's company. And one night we were just sitting together, and again, we were just dating at the time, we weren't even engaged. And I brought the idea up of, hey, what if we acquired your family's business? Like I could handle ops and finance, and do day-to-day management, and Marissa could handle distribution and sales because that's what she was doing anyways.
Perfect.
And so we sat her father down with a business plan in I think 2019.
It was October.
What
Yeah.
did your dad say when you came up to him and like, hey,
We want to
We wanna
buy
buy
your
your
baby,
company.
your company.
I don't know.
what was the
Kind of a
reaction?
blur.
I think he I actually know what his exact
Okay.
reaction was.
Okay.
It was, please, can't wait to be done. Like
Yeah.
that was,
Really?
like, he's
Yeah,
like,
he's
I'm
done
so
with
done.
it?
But
think
that
he
was
knew
that
we
was
were
his
serious.
sarcastic. Like that was his
Yeah.
different- like I knew that he didn't really want to.
Yeah.
And that ended up prevailing itself throughout the entire extent of the acquisition.
Mhm.
So I don't know that he really. I don't want to say the wrong thing because I
What were
don't know
the-
if he's going to see this or not. But
You won't care.
I don't know if he really felt it was actually going to happen until it actually then happened.
Right.
Even though it took almost a year to close.
What were the road bumps? What were the biggest hurdles to overcome?
I
in that
remember
purchase?
the only like
Should we
big
try
thing.
something else too? By the way,
Y'all could try
I want
whatever.
to try this one.
Um,
yeah, do it. Do it.
I remember because I would hear the negotiations. I wasn't involved. I was secondhand frustration, although I had no right because I didn't have to say anything. I may have given my opinion behind closed doors, but Evan controlled all the negotiations because I just couldn't handle it. I just remember we're so close to closing, and it came down to a thou or shall. What was it?
I don't remember.
It was like a word. It was like a thou or shall
in the contract.
in the contract.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't effing do this anymore.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
who cares?
After a year.
Who
After a
cares?
year. Right. Wow.
Yes. I was.
Yeah. See, and that's the parent thing, man. That would be so.
It's almost, but like you guys said, it's almost at that point. It's like he doesn't want to give it away. He's just trying to come up with something.
I don't think
So,
that was my
you-
dad. It was just the attorneys
lawyers.
being,
The different
attorneys.
teams.
Well, I think
Yes.
the unfortunate thing and the reality of a lot of companies when you're dealing with professional M&A people is that you're dealing with the receiving party that is, a street smart guy that started this company, put everything on the line, and built it into what it is today. But then you're dealing with a team of attorneys that does M&A every single day, and so when we're talking about all these formalities,
it's exhausting.
all that the receiving party is thinking about is they want to do a deal on a handshake, right? And they don't want to think about anything else. But then and it's unfortunate, but then you bring in a local attorney, you don't bring in an M&A attorney in the case of her father, and the local attorney isn't an M&A attorney. So you get two different channels. You get an M&A attorney that doesn't do deals and scrutinizes absolutely every single thing and extends out the deal by months and months and months, or you get someone that doesn't know at all and just lets the contract go and it's easy. Well, we got the former, not the latter. And so it ended up curtailing things into much more, much longer negotiations than it needed to be, because you're dealing with someone that, in my opinion, probably shouldn't be on the negotiating end of an M&A
Makes
deal.
sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, makes sense. He's
Someone
just
who's not suited for the
not
situation
familiar
as a
with it. That makes
professional.
sense.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
Johnny,
what's-
we are trying the Pinot Noir. That is our bourbon barrel series. I believe you
guys
tried
need
our
to get
Cabernet
other
before.
solo
so.
cups, though.
Yeah, we can't use the same solo cups.
Yeah,
That would be
these solo cups.
Big fupa.
I'll just try it from yours.
Definitely
I'm
not allowed to do that.
respect the father-in-law's
So, all right. So let's talk about
These are unfiltered, by the way.
So you get
So
the
raw
company.
filters.
So let's talk about the
What does that
why.
mean? What do you mean?
Let's-
Unfiltered
Again,
means that.
So uneducated with wine.
Hold up.
So these are just, again, they're unfiltered. So we let them settle out in the barrel, meaning that we're not running them through any cross-flow filtration to keep the wine open. So we're not,
Dumb it down.
we're not
Dumber. Dumber.
It is not through a filter, therefore
no
you
filter.
might have a
Does the
little bit
average-
of extra, maybe a small grape particulate, which rarely you get it.
Great
but-
pieces.
It's
You're getting as
very
raw form
natural.
of the wine as you possibly can.
Are
That's the
most
point.
wines run through a filter?
Yes.
I'm assuming.
Most mass-produced wines are. There are some wines that come out of California that are largely produced that don't filter them, but primarily you are.
Like very fancy.
Pinot Noirs are all the rave right now.
Very fancy in the red solo cup.
oh, I know
It's the tannins.
it
It
is.
tastes the same though, right?
Our Cabernet from our bourbon barrel series did receive 92 points out of California, which is very exciting. So it's a winemaker's challenge that's judged by Rich Cook, who's like really well known in the industry for his opinion.
92 points out of
Yes.
how many points?
This one did?
100.
Okay.
1,000.
The Cabernet. We didn't enter the Pinot Noir.
I don't know. I thought maybe it was like 110, 150. I don't know. Wine people are weird. I don't know.
115.
It means it's good.
Okay. That's the scale we need. Dumb it down.
Good, bad, okay.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
No, it's good. It's something mom would like this.
Yes. So do you
Yeah.
guys only do reds?
We do whites, rosés, reds, the whole lot.
The whole lots.
Yes.
My wife likes sweet wine.
See,
Okay.
is that
So-
those are the whites.
Yes.
She can
That's
try
the
this.
ones that I
then.
like. See,
No,
those
we
are the
do.
ones. See, I like that one, the sweeter one.
No, these are sweet wine is 99% of what we do, but we brought some of our reserves because we Purple Rain Passion Reds, they're across 10 states now. So
Yeah.
everyone knows us locally for our sweet wines, but not everyone knows that we make reserve dry wines too. So yes, we make these great products,
So
but
This is the dry.
Donnie
this is
says
our reserve.
fruit wines are amazing.
Thank you.
Again, I do not listen to me, Donnie. I do not know what
Never
I'm talking about.
disappointed.
Yes, I have tried 5 different wines and never disappointed.
Donnie's
What's
a
the
big
next
fan,
wine
huh?
you're trying? Oh,
Yes.
Okay.
So
Very
yeah,
appreciated.
you'll like the Purple Rains.
Okay, let's try that one.
Yeah, like Marissa said.
We're establishing my
Santa
palate
was
right now.
not
We're
staged.
I
establishing my palate.
swear. I would not lie about that. That terrified
Carly
me.
says that is creepy. LOL. I would have been
All I know is I
scared.
saw freaking Santa at our window.
We are in a basement, y'all, and a Santa came to the basement window.
knocked on the window.
I'm not okay.
That's
Oh
great
my
word.
god! But the thing is, I've seen
All you
Facebook
need is
posts
Buddy to yell
about
for the
the
Grinch.
Santa
All right.
like walking Poland. I thought it was like a
This is
joke,
probably
but
the
this
path.
made me
No,
a
I've
believer.
definitely seen him before. I've actually pulled over and said, Santa, do you need help? Can I like
Same
drive
guy.
you somewhere? I think it was the same guy too. Yeah. I've seen him on my street. Is
Okay.
this the new pour? I'm assuming.
Yeah. See,
That's it.
that's it right
that's
there.
that's the one.
So what is that?
That's Purple Rain
Nope, that
Sangria.
is the Pinot
It's
Noir.
newer,
And that would be a what?
Oh, this is the
sweet,
sweet one.
sweeter profile.
Yeah, that. Yeah, I like that one.
Okay,
See?
it's good.
Ooh, that's
Yeah,
that's
that
tasty.
one I could-
That's
yeah.
like candy compared to the
The
other
P
one.
Rain slaps.
Mhm.
Yeah. Shelby
I like
would,
that one.
Shelby would be
Yeah.
all about that.
That one's good.
We sell this.
Oh,
At
the other
Poland
one's good,
Giant
but this-
Eagle.
This is my palate.
Well, you sell
Is that
it
what
at
I'm
more
supposed
than
to say?
just Pole and Giant Eagle, right? You're all
Yes.
over the place. Like I've seen you in Walmart commercials or something, right? Like at your in your stands and stuff.
Yes, the Purple Rain Sangria is relatively new, so not all the stores have it. So the Poland Giant Eagle, like Sparkle, Larry's Drive Through, Save a Lot, they have it, but not every store in Youngstown has it, just because it's super political. But yeah, it's
Wait.
we out
Explain to us the politics.
Super
What is
political.
political?
Let's
Okay,
hear it. Yeah, Miranda, let's hear politics.
What?
Politics.
Love that.
Right.
What were we talking about? Hold on, let me get out my
Let's
spoon.
do
and
the
stir the
politics.
pot
Talk
a
some
little bit.
shit about
Well,
these politics.
Let
What
me
do you got?
tell you, sales and distribution is very political because you have to be patient. You have to understand the retailers have processes.
Are you patient?
Sometimes.
You strike me as not.
She is a Lovillian Italian,
You
so
strike me as not very
Yeah.
patient.
I have learned to hold my tongue and be professional.
Okay.
Even if you're selling really well, you have to like explain to these retailers, like, not every chain knows that we're growing
Yeah.
and we're not a small winery anymore. And I feel like sometimes we're treated that way. So we have to be very patient when the decision makers redoes their
It's
store.
the shelves, right?
Yeah. So
I remember that.
not only do you have to convince the buyer that controls that, but sometimes large companies that make and produce wine control the reset as well. So when they reorganize and redistribute new products in a store, it's called a reset.
Mhm.
So another competing winery might say, hey, chain store, I will help you reset your store with free labor and all this stuff. So they could prioritize their stuff over our stuff. So I was
bribery, basically.
I was slinging the wine in these streets of Columbus and Cincy all this week. And let me tell you,
Yeah.
Purple Rain sells so well. And we're on the bottom shelf in like 2/3 of the stores, in the newer stores.
You see, the average person doesn't even think about that.
Or,
You don't even think about that.
here's a great picture
You wanna
I can
be-
show
you
you.
wanna
You want to be front. You want to be middle. Yeah, that is.
I-
Yeah,
I'll have to
retail
post
101. You want to be
this.
right in the middle, right at eye view.
Look at this. Sometimes, like, if you go in the wine aisle, there'll be like things hanging from the shelf, like wine bags. The wine bag is always in front of our stuff in the new stores because like how-
hang it up to the camera.
Yeah, makes total sense.
so see this.
You can
Like,
see the wine bag there, right
like,
next to it.
If you're busy,
Yeah,
you
see,
can't
you'd be-
see it.
It makes sense to be frustrated about that as someone selling the product.
Yeah, she's
you
trying to
want to
sell
be
the
front.
product.
And
Yeah,
it's not necessarily the retailer's fault. It's them trusting the competing winery to do the right thing, which they don't always do, in my opinion. And I understand, like, someone has to have that spot, but like, it's always us.
so is
It's always
a
us.
competing wine brand would be someone about the same size as you,
No.
or what do you consider
the
a
global
competing?
conglomerates. You know, the wine club.
Damn.
God damn
I
I love
conglomerate.
them. Love hate, but more love. It's like, I
Why?
get
So
it.
an example
I
of,
used to
of
work
one of these
for some
competitors.
of
So we're talking these big giant.
I used
wine
to work
companies.
at
Like the
some
Walmarts
the
of
large
wine
companies.
like that guy that comes in the jar, like the big.
The
You know what I'm talking?
Carlo Rossi.
Yeah, that guy. You hate that bastard.
No, I don't. I love everybody, but I am frustrated with those who write the shelf.
Carlo Rossi,
Okay.
you son of a bitch.
No, I love disclaimer, full disclosure, I love my Gallo family, but I do not appreciate people of certain places that write the reset, because we always get the short end of the stick.
Goddamn
And
barefoot stealing our thunder.
Oh my gosh. I love you, Jen Wall. 10 out of 10.
The-
love you.
the-
But it's a rough road.
The thing you said was interesting though, and you just said it real fast, was they pay for the labor.
Yes.
That to me is like, hey,
Conflict of interest.
it's not a conflict, it's bribery.
Yeah, it really
It's hey,
is.
I'm gonna pay. We're gonna listen. We're gonna reset. Put some of my wine up.
Yeah,
Put it in the spot. Put it in the main shelf right here.
yeah,
And I'll pay for you guys to do it.
yeah.
I'm lucky
that's
though.
bribery,
We are
right?
lucky to be there. I mean, we don't have to be there. They could have never put us there.
And that's not wine. That's every
But it
category.
sucks.
That's
It's
crazy.
tough because in a test market, if you don't sell to their standard, you're gone.
So you're just happy being there.
Yeah, but it's still rough.
Wow.
So what I do is I'll like work in a market. I'll meet the manager. I'll convince them to bring in a display, because if a customer sees a display, they'll try the wine. If they like the wine, the display goes away. They'll look for it on the shelf and eventually find it. So it really helps us, but it's really difficult because not everyone knows the story. And I come in there with some random girl trying to make a sale. Like, I try to tell the story, but sometimes it doesn't always work out. But we've done a really nice job with building the business. I have a lot of great retail partners that do support us really well, but it's not always easy. Even when we have support, it's not always easy because it's very political.
Yeah, that's so interesting. And the average person does not think about that, but it makes a lot of sense. It really does. My mother-in-law says we actually had Purple Rain in white wine at our wedding
There you go.
Aw,
before we started making ours.
that's so wonderful. And I see EJ
Um,
also had the wine at the wedding.
Do you
We
sell
had
wine
logo
at
wait, at our
Dope in
wedding?
Penguin City? I don't know.
He just says I would have shat myself
So-
when Santa came in.
So we don't sell our wine at Dope. I love Hannah Ferguson. She makes her own wines.
She was
she's
on-
Yeah,
so
she makes her own.
Some
so
month or two.
amazing. I don't believe we have our wines at Penguin City, but I'm sure if you request it, they will bring it. They're great
He's
people.
tagging people for us. Thanks, buddy. But see they are double selling buy and wine.
Oh no, so the bag you could buy if you want to like make it more of a gift. So say you're running to
Yeah.
a friend's house and they just got engaged or whatever, you can buy a wine bottle. You can get a free bag from the grocery store to take it to your car. But if you wanted a gift bag, so
Yeah.
you would pay like $2 for the nice gift wrap.
Nice.
But
So you guys acquire the company then. What's the after that? What has been happening in the past year over there at Louva Bella and what's been transforming on like it changed to red brands? When did that stuff start happening?
Yeah, I mean,
you go, I'll go, whatever.
when we took over the company, we had a pretty clear plan. What we wanted to do was to take the brands national and align them to be agnostic to the market, meaning that we didn't want to brand ourselves as, hey, we're an Ohio winery, drink local. We're a winery that happens to be located in Ohio that has great brands for the modern consumer. Let's take these out into new
Sweet.
markets.
Good
Yeah.
idea. Yeah.
So we had a really great model of what we did in Northeast Ohio from Marissa's great work over the prior couple of years of what she had done. And so we want to take that and replicate it. So, we had a lot of products. We probably had 45 different SKUs. And sorry for the people that are listening that some of them we don't make anymore, but we slashed a lot of those SKUs that were selling very low, small cult following, but they weren't viable to make large scale. So we slashed some of those. We took the brands that we had really successful following of and good track record of sell through. And we just kind of packaged that up and continued to replicate that as we populated other markets similar to what we did in Northeast Ohio. And so with the brands, we just try to continue to make them modern, appealing to the everyday consumer, and bring in that newer wine consumer. So the younger millennial Gen Z consumer, because they're the ones drinking sweet wine.
Yeah.
And you have to capture them between 21 and 27 years old, because that's really the timeline you're going to have of that new wine consumer getting into the category, taking the product, getting the product that they like, and then working that through
Interesting.
Before they
post-college
flip over to
maybe a drier, higher end product,
Huh.
interesting.
to maybe an RTD, maybe bourbon, maybe vodka, whatever that may be. But sweet wine is typically the entrance to the wine category for the majority of U.S. consumers.
Is that why I like this wine?
Probably.
I
Because
mean,
I never
it's-
really drink wine.
it's
Because
not
I've never really
always-
drank wine.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're like a 21-year-old dude.
Because I never
Young
drank
at
wine.
heart, but you don't have to be part of that demographic to like it. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just part of our thesis. But like, if you like it,
It's
who
true.
I
cares?
never really liked sweet wine though. I was always sipping on mom's like more red wine, not like basically what I thought was bitter wine
I just
growing
drink
up, and then
vodka.
I always just
I'm
went straight to
I'm
that.
big, and vodka just got me drunk faster in college.
I mean,
because
that's
I'm like
true,
a
too.
rhinoceros.
I'm
So
not
that,
going out to
I
a
need,
bar.
I need exactly. I
We're
just
not
need-
going out to bars and getting wine. We're getting shit faced. So we're getting
Hey,
drunk.
but these are 13%, which are higher than most
That
sweet
is
wines
true.
on market.
That is
so-
yeah. Wow.
Very
Here we
true.
go.
Right.
We bring the heat.
Yeah.
Dude, we have YouTube is
Why are we getting
beautiful
spam?
girls here.
Spam.
Well, we got to click on the link now
we're
and see where it takes
blocking.
us.
We're blocking.
Hey,
Um,
go up to Youngstown Pizza Reviews thing real fast.
Best hosts ever for live drawing. Everyone needs
Aw,
to go to
thank
Louva
you.
Bella and try their wine and try their. Hey, Youngstown Pizza Reviews, especially you, Jeremy, trying to steal our guests. I had
Yeah.
this planned for months, and you
Pull up the
swoop in.
picture. Pull up the picture.
What picture?
Dude,
Oh,
go to the brand.
yeah, I do have it.
Yeah.
I have it right here.
So when did he ask you to be on
Yeah.
his thing? Do you
Um,
remember?
Well, Delaney, our marketing head,
This was
she coordinated it.
this was earlier tonight. Jeremy, you son of a big look at this. Look at it. You stole our guest and then you pop her on your show before ours.
Yeah.
Tired of you,
He
Jeremy.
says, yeah, Tuesday afternoon sounds great. Or Thursday afternoon sounds
And
great.
you know what that dirty jerk does? He freaking texts us, right? He texts us. right before he goes live
Hope-
with you on the show. He's
hope
like,
you don't
"Oh,
mind."
hope you don't mind. She's coming on our show right before yours."
That's so
Like,
funny.
I was trying to lock you guys down for a long time though. I've been even before you guys won the 30 for
Frickin'
30
Jeremy.
thing.
Hey, when we go ghost hunting on
The 30
Saturday,
under
Jeremy,
30.
hope you don't trip down the stairs in the dark.
Oh my gosh.
That's so funny.
But
No, he's
where's our
good.
comments? No, Jeremy's awesome. Jeremy's the man.
I saw a few I could answer really quick.
Yeah.
Donnie, we are probably gonna look into like Texas or Kansas or Oklahoma. We have some potential opportunities there, and all of our wine is gluten free, EJ, and we do not
Yeah.
make non-alcoholic wine at this time. Just wine with alcohol. But yeah, all
how do you
gluten free.
break into another
Someone with
state?
a
Like,
tree.
like Tech, do you
His
go
wife
down there and
is-
travel around, or?
Oh, there's Delaney. Our
Yeah,
marketing manager
Delaney.
Right there.
Yes.
Hi, 2 weeks ago.
Oh, Jeremy.
When was the last time I was messaging you? It was a month or two
Months.
ago.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Months.
I
Yeah.
think something like that.
Even before the 30 under 30.
She
Jeremy
was like,
saw
Yeah.
it.
"Who are these?"
Jeremy
two?
saw the 30
She's
under
like,
30
"Who are
thing.
these two weirdos that are trying to get us on our podcast?"
Yeah.
On the podcast.
You guys, I'll tell you what though, you two are intimidating because
Because
no,
they
I
have-
mean no
no,
offense.
because
No,
they
they're
have these-
super professional.
Well, they have these fancy
we?
pictures. Oh, you have those fancy
Yes.
pictures. We're all like,
of you
you're,
two,
you're like, you're all like,
power couple.
like this is what you
Yeah,
guys like.
like-
Yeah.
I'm like, these guys are gonna come in
And
here.
Isaac and I are in here with our freaking Cobra
Yeah.
Kai and our backwards hats.
Yeah, they're gonna come in here and judge us so hard, Luke. Like I was worried, but no, you guys are
We
great.
did-
Wait, look
we
at
did.
Jeremy's comment. Look at Jeremy's comment. There is no second place. Just first loser.
Oh man, that's funny.
Thank you so much. Caitlin said, "Yeah, his wife is all gluten free." EJ.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
my wife is too.
So breaking into a new state, how do you do it?
Well, I'll give you the formulae. Essentially,
Yeah.
you court a retailer. This is our strategy, at least. You
Okay.
court a retailer.
You may want that's proprietary information. You sure want to give that out to the free
Like-
market.
Wait, is it
Court.
really?
God, you guys are so fancy. Okay, so court, you mean you call them up? You call up the
You're like,
local
"Yo,
Sparkle or whatever?
Yo,
Yo,
what's
Walmart,
up?
Hey, want to buy some of my goods? And they're
Yeah.
like, yo,
Yeah, yo.
sure.
It's just you just call them. Call
No, I'll prospect and make some connections, and
Yeah.
I'll say, hey, like we're doing really well in these states. Here's the data. Here's the sell through.
Are they interested, or you ever get like just shut down and like?
I'll be left on red sometimes on
I mean,
LinkedIn.
There's
but-
a difference between authorized to sell and on the shelf. Two very different things. So if you get authorized, you can get a licensed hunt, if you will, but you don't need that in independent accounts because the individual at the store is the one that's able to make the decision. If you're trying to sell in a Walmart, a Meijer, or Kroger, then yeah, you have to get buyer approval at corporate level. So there's two channels that you can take to
Yeah.
enter a market.
So mom and pop shops versus Walmart.
Channel, yeah.
Okay, right,
yeah,
okay.
chain. Exactly.
So you could be authorized to sell
Anywhere in
from
Texas.
corporate, like you're authorized to sell at the local Walmarts around here. But then, does that necessarily you're authorized to sell then at all Walmarts across the nation?
No, it would be on a market by market basis. But
Okay.
again, there's a
State
difference
by state.
state by state. But there's a difference between authorized and then on the modular, like in the
In the
in,
sh-
in the
shelf.
retail.
Yeah. You're kind of like in the door, but you're not necessarily on the shelves.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So,
interesting.
but you have to tailor that into, in the adult bev space and in beer and wine, there's, 3-tiered system, and you have to go through a distributor to sell product into in another state. So
Mhm.
you have to work with distributor. Distributors hold the keys to entering the market. If you can't get a distributor to take you on, then you can't sell into that state.
Yeah.
So there's really two levels. There's the
Wow.
retailer, there's a distributor. You have to be with the right distributor because they have to have the right distribution channel, the right assets to
Holy
be able to
crap.
get to the right stores at the right
Makes
time.
sense.
So
Makes
So
total
you
sense.
just can't go into a store like, hey, you want to sell our wine?
I mean,
Yeah.
you can if you don't want to be successful.
But it's a little bit more complicated.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you could. Yeah.
Yeah.
Waste your time. Got it. Wow.
I mean, it depends on if you want to be a mass merch brand, then you have to be strategic. And listen, we only know this from failure. Like we made the mistakes.
Yeah.
So we
Did
know
you
now
try
what to
going
do.
into the local Sparkle when you first started out and be like, "Hey, you guys want to sell my wine?"
Oh, well, they were cool. I love them.
It's not. It's when you get out to other markets that becomes
Yeah.
an issue because you sign with the distributor, right? And then you get into Walmart. Well, if that distributor only delivers to Walmart once every 3 weeks, and your depletion rates are a case a week, and they're only delivering a case, well, you're going to be out of stock more than 45% of the month, maybe even 60% of the month.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Right.
you have to have the right
Holy cow! So you're
Yeah.
worried about how much they're dropping off, how much they're delivering, how
Do
fast,
they have
consumption
trucks?
rate.
how fast your stuff's
Yeah.
going to. Holy cow!
Yeah.
You would never think of that.
Never.
It's-
Never.
That's my world, y'all.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you go from being, this boutique product,
Yeah.
any CPG brand, not just us.
Yeah.
To hey, hope it sells locally, or hey, it's so great to get this placement on the shelf. To now you're in thousands of accounts, you're in multiple states. You have to have a sales team to support it. You have to make sure the distributors are compliant. You have to make sure you're getting the right incentive programming out to the distributors so that they pay attention to the brand.
Yeah.
And it's all about real estate.
Or
So-
even if it gets delivered to the store, does it make it to the shelf? Is it in the back room for months,
Yeah.
weeks?
And you
Yeah.
have so many things you're worried about too, because it's like, how do you keep track of all that?
Yeah.
So we try.
the-
We yeah.
the whole idea of the wine industry and the beauty around it goes away very quickly when you're talking about category management and sell-through data in relation to inventory management, because that's what the retailers care about.
Yeah.
That
How do
is
you know?
crazy.
So, like you said, how do you know
water.
that? Dude, we're out of water. Sorry, buddy. You can have the rest of this if you want to.
water.
How do you know that without having boots on the ground, that they're actually making it to the shelves?
Oh yeah, we have it's a mixture of a lot of data. So we have a CRM system, we have distributor depletion information.
So
we
you
have,
can tell if people are actually getting it.
sometimes if you
Not all
don't
the time.
have if you're not in the store, you can't always tell if the product's on the shelf or in the back room. You can tell if it got delivered.
Yeah.
You can tell if they're selling, but if you have zero sales,
Yeah.
but there's a case in the store and it hasn't moved for weeks,
Yeah, you can kind of tell that way.
you can probably tell that way.
So are you traveling all over, checking out these stores, making sure they're
Yeah.
pumping it out?
We're
Interesting.
hiring right now. We just hired a sales rep to cover. Well, we have a sales rep now, but he's retiring, but he still might work with us part time. So we're really
Yeah.
excited about that. But we have another sales rep that will be covering his territory starting in a couple weeks. And we're also hiring for a sales rep for Columbus, Cincinnati, Dayton, and Toledo, which we have some really great candidates we've been interviewing. But as we're interviewing, I'm still going out there to audit. So I spent 3 days, 2 days in Columbus, 1 in Cincinnati this week. I'll go to the shelf, know exactly where I'll take pictures. Are we out of stock? Do I talk to the manager and say, hey, this is our story. Would you bring in a display? So I've been able to get a lot of that done, but I found a lot of out of stocks this week. And it just,
It's a
it's-
kind of a good problem to have, though, right?
yeah, but not all of it was an out of stock from it being there for a week. Like sometimes it's a month or
And
2 months.
That's not good.
No,
Yeah,
and me being there, I'm the squeaky wheel. I say, hey, distributor, talk to the management here. You guys have been out of stock for weeks. And
Right.
from my data on my distribution report, it shows you haven't made a delivery since August 19th. So I'm able to tell a story and know it's true based on the information I have. So like, you guys need to be checking this spot once a week. Please talk to your rep that they must remember they represent us too, because they have a book this big, thousands of products that they might be selling, or hundreds. So we're not the only thing they're looking at in the store. So
Yeah.
But once you get your sales reps, though, that'll be their jobs. They'll
Yeah.
be able to go to store once a week or whatever, right?
hold them
And,
accountable. Yes.
yeah, hold everybody accountable, and that's like when I deliver pretzels.
Donnie has a good question. How long does it normally take to break into a new state from the day you pitch to the day you shelf it?
If we're hustling and we have the legal licenses, so say like we get a yes from a retailer, I will either have already applied for the legal license to distribute in that state, or I just will start applying. So it could be between 45 days up to 6 months. It really depends on the timeline of when the retailer wants to launch.
Yeah.
What if they say we want an ASAP? I think if it's an ASAP now,
Yeah.
probably 45 to 60 days
Interesting.
ish.
Mark says, do you sell your wine at local restaurants or restaurants downtown?
At this time, we do have stuff at Whistle and Keg, but any other location downtown, to my knowledge, we do not. And I think it's really because although we're a brand, I think local restaurants see us that we do have a bistro. It's open a couple days a week. I don't know if they'll bring in the wine because they don't want to be advertising the bistro, or they just don't want to carry it. I don't know.
Well, you guys, not that you don't care, but that's not necessarily the focus anymore since you guys acquired the company, because like you said, you're trying to push it out to national, and that's much more important in terms of quantity over a local restaurant anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I'd answer that and say
not necessarily that you don't care.
Yeah, for one, you know, everyone on our team is important, and we love.
Nice job, Isaac.
No. That's what I said. Not
Way to
necessarily.
shit on the bistro, Isaac.
No, not the bistro. The downtown restaurants.
No,
you know, we have a great staff in the bistro, a great GM, and we have a lot.
Don't throw me up there, Isaac. Oh, sorry, I'm throwing something up there. Yeah.
And we have a lot of great things going on, a lot of great plans for next year for it. You know, our focus as the executives of the company are, of course, retail growth and brand growth. That's how we're going to become a larger company. So, you know, it's not our main focus for Marissa and I, but it's our main focus for our core team. And it's still a pillar of our company, and it's a pillar for the community too. And that's really what we have it there for. So
I know our parents go there all the time.
Yeah, I actually
Mom and
remember
Dad going there
in
constantly.
05 or 06 when your dad first opened that. I remember going there with Mom and Dad when I was 10 or 11. 11, and I remember loving the pizza.
Oh, that's good.
Time. But yeah, they always went there.
I do think though that I've heard this a couple of times, that some restaurants would prefer not to carry us because we are still, even though we're a wine company, like I think locally people still see us as a bistro with our wines foremost rather than a wine company or a winery. And so because we're not in a state vineyard, meaning we don't grow our own grapes, we have a warehouse in the back that a lot of people don't see our operation. They just know us of our bistro. And so breaking the chain between our amazing products that we offer versus our bistro is hard to in the local market. And I think that's
what's interesting to me is you have that issue, but then at the same time, you have local breweries like Birdfish and Noble Creature downtown, and all of them kind of promote each other, and all the bars in the area sell all their beer.
Yeah, but when you go to a brewery, what are you going there to do?
Drink beer.
And when you go to Luvabella, what are you going to Luvabella to do?
Eat and drink wine.
I think you said eat first. Though.
Yeah.
So at first and foremost, you're a restaurant. Where people think we're a restaurant. They see us as they're not going to a warehouse that's a brewery.
So you're going to a restaurant to drink. You're going to a restaurant to eat food, and they view you still as.
I know you thought that was a trick question, but it wasn't a trick question.
No, it makes total sense. It makes total sense. So you would go to you're going to a brewery specifically to drink beer, but I mean,
I bet Penguin City would put you guys in there tomorrow.
And we would put that. I don't know if we carry them or not, to be honest. They were just at our place.
I bet Penguin City.
We always need to do a swap.
I bet you and Penguin City, I bet you guys could do a swap.
We've been working actually on a project to start doing more economical kegs. So we've been looking at developing some new products specifically tailored towards on-premise, being restaurants and bar keg for tap systems.
There you go.
What I'll have to ask Penguin City
they come on
week when they come on is, have you seen a change once you opened up your storefront? Do they have food in there? You know?
No.
They have food trucks.
They have food trucks.
They have food trucks. So they probably still haven't seen it. But if they ever start pumping out food in that place, would restaurants then kind of try back off from them because they're competitors?
I think still though, to me, and I'm not from the area, so I have a different kind of preconceived notion, but I think we were first and foremost a restaurant, and then we became a winery.
So they're still viewing it.
So they're viewing it as a restaurant.
So I think people view us, and breweries of their own nature have a completely different sort of vibe and following than wineries do.
Well, like you said, necessarily doesn't really care because you're trying to push yourself into stores nationwide. So it's is what it is. Makes sense. So how does Forbes approach you guys? How
Yeah,
does
let's
that
talk about that.
Do you approach Forbes, or does a Forbes approach you? I feel like Forbes kind of
They call and
That's
say,
the
we
power.
just have to have you on our list.
We're
gonna have an empty
We're
spot.
not accepting no.
It is a very secretive process, and I'm gonna expose all the secrets on this podcast.
Woo! Yeah, let's
So,
go.
I actually was a finalist for the list twice, once in 2017 and one in 2019.
Okay.
And I never figured out like how people got to the final leg. So this year, a friend of mine, Dan, who owns a chain called Wings Over, it's a chicken wing chain. He nominated Evan and I, but also one of our board members did. And because of what they said, Forbes liked the application. They reached out to us and said, hey, we enjoyed these nominations. If you're interested, here's a secondary application. So they hear directly from us.
Secondary application.
They asked maybe, 100 questions. They asked everything from our growth strategy, our bios, our just general questions like our idols and things that stress us out more. Like, I don't know. Do you remember some of the questions?
I mean, they had like macroeconomic questions, they had microeconomic questions, they had the pandemic questions, and there's two different sets of questions too that as we went further, and then there was a tasting of the products, and so that they have they have a diverse list, and we're in the food and beverage category, and so I think it was a mixture of of course our hard work and dedication, our team's hard work and dedication, Marissa's persistency and trying to get it a couple years in a row, and then finally breaking that barrier once we really hit a really great growth brand post acquisition and could really show meaningful sustainable growth.
Yeah, I think what my friend Dan told me, they're looking just for long-term growth, and because we've had that history, they probably include us from there too. And like Evan said, they do a tasting of all the finalists' products, and I completely stalked this process. So I guess I know there was 12,000 applications this year.
Holy crap!
That's what I was going to ask. Is the pool of people you were in? So you were in 12,000.
12,000.
But not all 12,000 are food and beverage. So what is it? 4,000? I feel like there's a lot of food and beverage CPG companies
Regardless,
right now.
there's a lot. Yeah.
But I know they dwindled it down this year to 60 finalists because they had a video of how they judged the product. So you don't know you made the list until it's published.
Cool.
So I was like, oh my God, like tomorrow's it. Like, haha, like how cool would it be? And I'm like, and then my friend Dan texts me the list, and I'm like, don't you mess with me right now.
Yeah.
And I click it, and I started I forgot how to read, and I'm like, is that our picture? And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And we were like the last ones listed, so I thought I was so confused, and I couldn't. It was.
Well, congratulations.
That's
it was cool,
guys. That is for our area. I mean, that is amazing.
Thank you.
That's a resume thing. You want to get into some of those stores in Texas? I mean, you could be. I mean, you say Forbes 30 under 30. I mean, you got a little.
I don't know if it's gonna help.
Yeah, that's
that'll help.
Something I would flex
Absolutely.
that.
I would flex it all day. Everybody in the United States knows what that is.
Yeah.
Flex that.
Yeah, nothing
Good
says we
for
know
you
what we're
guys.
doing like
That-
Forbes.
Yeah, that is amazing.
It's cool. I'm actually I'm sad because Evan isn't able to make it because we have a lot going on with the business. But I'm going to New York City next week because they're having a little celebratory dinner for the food and beverage category. So I'll get to meet some of the editors that included us. I get to meet some of the other people that were included on the list. So
You're
I'll
not
be
going,
there
Evan?
next Tuesday.
I wish, but we got a lot of stuff going on before now in the end of the year, so I can't make it. But
30 out of 4,000. Did I understand that? Yeah, I mean, that's
12,000.
Maybe it's I can't tell you if that's the actual thing. It's an
Didn't
assumption.
you say 12,000?
So there was 12,000 applications
for all
categories. So 12,000 applications. There's 600 spots because there's 20 categories of 30. Okay.
Wow.
Or something like that. I think it's 20 categories, 30 people per category. So there's like manufacturing, there's Hollywood, there's social media.
Do we know anything like how many people in our area have ever gotten anything like that?
I have no
would
idea.
love to know. Like,
That's a big deal. It really is.
like how many people in our area have gotten anything on Forbes before? That's what I'd want to know.
Yeah.
Like, I've
I
never
wonder if
heard
any
of
of
that
the
before.
any of the big names.
I I'm sure like the Cafaros and DeBartolo's maybe. I
don't
I
know.
have never
I'm gonna Google
looked.
that
The
sometime.
Faro's the stinking 49ers. So it's like,
But do you think they get something like that? I'm gonna Google that when I go home. That's
I
a
would at
good
least
question.
assume a couple thousand in the food and beverage category, like 2,000 or so. I don't know.
I bet Quaker
I'm not
steak.
sure.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm gonna Google that.
It's been
If I would have been a good podcaster host, I would have Googled
Right,
that
done
prior.
some research.
Done some
Yeah, that's-
research.
That's not us. What region?
we don't ever do research.
What region do your? You already said this. What region did you say? California.
Chile.
For what?
Or grapes.
Your grapes.
Our grapes.
Purchase your
Chile.
grapes from.
Yeah, Chile, Italy, California.
Well, the regions of California, like Susan
Oh,
Valley.
Susan Valley,
Lodi.
coastal regions,
Chile.
Lodi.
And Kate, there will
Napa.
be after this live broadcast is done, it will post on the MLO Bros, and you can go back and watch the entire thing from start to finish. So it'll be up there for everybody to watch.
There we go.
Yeah, Donnie, collaborate with Penguin
All
City.
right.
Yeah, we talked about that
Well,
as well.
we're at an hour, so let's. These guys got to work. So coming up, anything you guys want to reveal? Anything coming up? Any top secret plans?
Top secret. Do we have?
I
any
mean,
secrets?
yeah, we're working on a lot of new products. We always are. You know, of course, the public only sees a fraction of what we're working on.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff that we're working on to bring into bar and restaurant, some on-premise stuff through Keg that we're really excited about.
Sweet.
Some new flavors of passion we're working on too. We did a really light release of Passion Lemonade that happened in the summer
It was
of
very
this
good.
past year.
Passion lemonade.
Just to test it out. Lemonade, blueberry lemonade, strawberry lemonade.
It's a good
idea,
guys.
Ooh.
That's good.
Very good idea.
We're going to be launching that more officially this summer coming up. So we're excited about that.
Okay.
And yeah,
Well,
Who knows?
if you guys,
Mark wants to know if you guys sell merch.
We do have hats and some shirts at the wine.
want a hat.
We should
Yeah,
bring.
we should have
some
brought
in.
them.
you should have brought us some hats.
Yeah,
I
we
know.
will. We'll
If you-
get you some.
We love hats.
We'll
you guys
bring
drop
some.
off hats. You guys are
Okay.
close.
We'll
so
bring
you
some.
drop off hats. We wear
Okay.
hats, and we need big hats because we have very large heads.
Good.
Okay,
I have
I'll-
a tiny head, and
So
our
funny.
hats don't fit my head, so I can't wear them. So they'll probably be perfect.
That's
for you
perfect.
guys.
That's
Yeah.
perfect.
we have
Sounds like a
giant
plan.
heads. Now here's the thing. We always say this. If you guys ever have anything, like we always do a bunch of charity stuff. If you guys ever do anything like that and want to get the word out,
All the time.
Locally.
let us know.
Yeah, we'll have
We might call upon you because we do a bunch of charity stuff
Sure.
in the spring. Remember, these guys would be good for like our charity events.
if we have an event, yeah, and we could get booze there. We could try and
Imagine something like that.
Well, yeah,
pump out
we got
some
the
wine.
plug.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So we'll but anytime you guys want to work together,
Yeah,
let us know.
absolutely.
So
And thank you everybody who watched tonight. Thank you for joining us. MLO Bros stands for Mortgage Loan Originator Brothers. If you are at home, you ever need a mortgage, please think of us. We'll take care of you. Rates actually came down a little bit.
a lot.
Past month
A
came
lot.
down. So refinance, purchase on your next home. Give us a call. We'll take care of you. Also, please, one more time, check out the sponsors down below for tonight's show: Valley Insurance Group as well as BC Heating and Plumbing.
Go to brand. We got a gift. Somebody sent us a gift, and I've been sick for the last 2 weeks.
What?
Check out what somebody sent us. They mailed this to us
What is it?
just in time for the holidays. It is
Handmade?
handmade greeting cards by Cheryl McCoskey.
We have greeting cards now.
No. She made this for us, and she dropped us off, and she gave us handles cards inside, and I used the handle cards, but that's neither here nor there. Click on the top.
Wait. Okay, this is why you mail it to the office and not the freaking house.
Can we
I
go
don't
to
see-
the picture up? So look, check this out. So you can put gift cards in these things. Look at that.
That's cute.
That's cool.
It's
That's
like a
good
little
idea.
shirt, and you stick the.
Aw.
So you got handles on my hard work.
I was
You
sick.
didn't share handles.
I was sick. Go to the little thing so you can show it again. So yeah, thank you, Cheryl, for sending that to us.
They just released the peppermint chip flavor that I really wanted to try
So Cheryl, thank you for sending those to us.
for the holidays.
And yeah, so she sent those to us, and I ate your
You
thing. I was sick.
Brat.
I was
Why
sick.
Why are you like?
I was sick.
Why are you the way you are?
So
Congrats. Best of luck. I'll be in touch. Evan and Marissa.
Oh, there you go.
Let's keep rocking.
Thanks,
thanks,
so
Donnie.
much.
Thank
all right,
you.
well, guys, thank you for coming on,
Yeah.
and we'll see everybody next week when who's coming to.
Like I said, schedule for next week. We got Jeremy from Youngstown Pizza Reviews as well as the gang at Penguin City coming on,
Sweet.
talking about their Christmas event that they have going on constantly. It's crazy. And then Thursday we have on Youngstown Clothing Company. So
And
they should be good as well.
Isaac's not ghost hunting, but I'm ghost hunting Saturday with the group with Joe and Jeremy and Gracie.
Is this an actual haunted place or is this like the 10,000 other places you went to that's not haunted?
It's the Youngstown Manicore.
Yeah.
It's the second oldest building in
And
in,
I want
Youngstown.
everybody to know Luke's a fraud because
I'm not a fraud.
because we had somebody reach out to us that's like, hey, you have to come to my house. Definitely haunted. I got like scratches on my back. Seriously, there's a ghost in my house that's going to kill you. Come check out my house. And Luke's like, yeah, it's not big enough. I don't think I'm gonna go. I'm like, you get one house that's actually haunted and you don't want to go to it.
I sent her to Real Ghost Hunters.
Yeah.
She's like, this lady like messaged us. She's like, yeah, I woke up with scratches. I hear growling. I'm like, hey, you should probably go to Real Ghost Hunters. I'm not doing that.
That sounds like an actual ghost. I'm out.
I was like, I am not going to that place. Good luck. I did. And she's like, I was like, here's a psychic's phone number. Here's a priest's phone number. I was like, I'm not doing that.
But thank you everyone for watching. Thank you guys for joining.
Thanks
us.
for coming,
This was
guys.
Amazing. And have a great night, everybody.
Bye, ready. Music.
Outro.
So
outro,
awkward.
outro.
Awkward silence.